Ladies and gentlemen, today we have a very interesting video to get into because, well, we're going to talk about some pretty interesting stuff. We have a new Pokemon update. We also have an update about a console everybody was anticipating getting delayed. And then we're also going to look at some Nintendo Switch 2 gameplay. I know, it sounds crazy, but I think that's what's going on here. And we're also going to talk about a poll I did yesterday to see what you guys think the Switch 2's price will be. So let's just go ahead and get right into this video. So this may be a little off topic right now, but I actually don't even know what to call this video. So you're watching it and there's probably a title. I truly cannot think what to call this video. Switch 2 gameplay, a sneak peek into the Switch 2. This is what the Switch 2 might look like. I have no idea. So now that that's out of the way, before we get started, if you could hit a like and subscribe, you know, that might help out just a little bit. And follow me on Twitter and Instagram so we can keep the community growing. And let's just go ahead and get to this video. So first, ladies and gentlemen, let's talk about a new Pokemon update. For the longest time, Pokemon Legos have not just been a thing, and it's so weird. And you may think, well, I'm pretty sure I've seen some Pokemon Legos, but you would be mistaken. You have seen Pokemon Mega Bloks. Now, I don't want to hate on Mega Bloks, at least I think that's what they're called, Mega Bloks maybe. But sometimes when I'm in Target, they make some really cool stuff. Recently, I seen a Pokédex like by Mega Bloks, and that looked awesome. And then I seen this giant Ash and Pikachu statue that you can make. So they make really cool stuff, but I just feel like Legos is where it's at, you know what I mean? And no Pokemon Legos, which is the strangest thing. But we do finally have an update. Pokemon and Lego officially revealed a new collaboration. And this is really cool, but I don't know why the hell they revealed it now, because this is not releasing until 2026. And you may think, well, why are they doing that? And I was thinking the same thing, but that is the 30th year anniversary of the Pokemon franchise. So that is cool, but really, what the hell is the point of revealing this so early? So now let's talk about one of the most anticipated gaming consoles of 2025. You may think I'm talking about the new Microsoft Xbox handheld, or you may think I'm talking about the Nintendo Switch 2, or you may think I'm talking about, I don't know, some emulator console or something. But I'm actually talking about the Analog 3D. And this is the 4K version, I think, of a Nintendo 64 that was coming out this year. It was going to upscale all the games. It had a wireless controller. It looked really, really cool. I'll be honest, it does look amazing. And I do have my eye on this, but I don't know if I'm the biggest Nintendo 64 fan to be able to buy something like this. There's probably like a good 5 or 10 games from the N64 that I enjoyed. When I think about it, that and the NES are probably my least favorite Nintendo consoles. But this was supposed to come out, I think, in March, maybe? But now it has been delayed until July. So if you're looking to get this, or you pre-ordered it, it is being delayed. I'm pretty sure this console is going to launch for $249, and then you have to buy the controller separately, which is insane, for an extra $40. But I do think you can use your regular Nintendo 64 controllers on this console, so you could probably get those cheaper. So just keep in mind, if you are interested in this, it has been delayed until July. Now, ladies and gentlemen, the Nintendo Switch 2. How powerful is it going to be? What's the gameplay going to look like? Well, we can assume it's going to look better than a Nintendo Switch. And we have an actual insight into that today. And I'm not just talking about speculation or a rumor or something. We're going to look at some possible gameplay for the Nintendo Switch 2. But this gameplay is coming from a Nintendo Switch. Weird. How is this happening? Well, let me show you. An overclocked Nintendo Switch modded with 8GB of RAM can run Kingdom Hearts 3, Resident Evil 2 Remake, and other PC games surprisingly well. And I think the Switch 2 might have 10GB of RAM. It's either 10 or 12, so it's even going to look better than this. And keep in mind that Nintendo Switch only had 4GB of RAM, and 1GB was reserved for the console, so you only had 3GB of RAM for the actual console. So this is 3 times more powerful. This is coming from YouTube user Naga, and they're showing the gameplay, so we're just going to start checking this out. So if I'm not mistaken, this is the before right here, and then this is the after. As you can see, this is running way, way smoother, you know what I mean? And we gotta think, it's even gonna look better on the Nintendo Switch 2, so very exciting stuff. We're just gonna go through a bunch of these games and just see how much better it can look. And remember, the Switch 2 is going to be even more powerful than this. This is Kingdom Hearts 3 right here. This is pretty glitchy with some frame rate problems. Overall, it still looks amazing, don't get me wrong. And I do think we might have Kingdom Hearts 3 on the Switch, but it is a cloud version. But yeah, man, this is very, very promising stuff. There's some other stuff going on here as well. So, you know, keep that in mind. I don't really know all the ins and outs about everything and how it works. Look at this. This is a Resident Evil 2 remake. That looks incredible. Like seeing that on the Switch, it would have been so cool. And that's kind of the thing I want to take away from this too. I don't even know if that correlates with what I'm saying, but yes, the Nintendo Switch 2 is going to be able to play PS4 and Xbox One games. Probably with no problem, especially with having 10 gigabytes of RAM. Look, this is Dark Souls 2 right here. This looks really, really good, man. But the thing that I am most curious about is I don't care about like PS4 games and Xbox One games. I think that's incredible, and I'm gonna buy them all and I'm gonna play them all. For once, I would like to see Nintendo not be better than the competition, but still keep up with the current generation, you know what I mean? The Switch was incredible and the first party games were amazing, but it still always felt like it was an entire generation behind. And with the Switch 2, it's like everybody's aiming for that PS4 and Xbox One generation. So again, an entire generation behind. And don't get me wrong, this does look amazing. Look, here's some Call of Duty right here, man. Some zombies, man. Ooh, Zombies Online on the Switch 2? Sign me up, because this looks incredible right here. We also have some Fallout 3 right here. Looks pretty good. Damn it, I forgot what I was trying to say. What I think I was trying to say though is I don't want the Nintendo Switch 2 to feel like a generation behind again. So this is cool, this is very promising, and we got to keep in mind it's going to look way better than this. And they're using the old NVIDIA Tegra X1 chip right here, and we know the Switch 2 will have a better NVIDIA chip, as well as God, what is that Samsung thing called? I cannot remember. Regardless, it's going to look better, it's going to be better. So this is all very promising, and it's just showing the potential that the Switch 2 could have. But I don't want it to feel like a generation behind. I want it to feel like it's a current generation console. We have the Series X, the PS5, and the Switch 2. Because the Switch always felt like almost like an Xbox 360 or a PS3 in terms of power and graphics. Sometimes we would have those rare cases like Nier Automata that looked phenomenal, or Luigi's Mansion 3 looked incredible, or Bowser's Fury. That all felt kind of like current generation at the time it came out. But other than that, it's like I'm playing a souped up handheld. And I know people think, oh, it's a handheld console and a home console. To me, it really always just felt like a pretty good handheld. You know what I mean? So I just hope they wow us with a Switch 2 a little bit. But this is all very promising stuff. And before we get out of here, I want to show you a poll that I ran over on my YouTube channel. I asked you guys, how expensive do you think the Nintendo Switch 2 is going to be? And it's only been 24 hours, so we don't have that much results. I think like a little over 400 people voted, but let's check out the results. So I asked you guys how much you think the Switch 2 will cost, and I had 4 options: $349, $399, $449, and $499. We had 420 votes. Whoa, nice, man. 420, yeah. 6% said $349, and that would be nice. I'm just not seeing it. 56%, $400. That's what I'm leaning towards now. We had 22% say $450, and 15% is thinking $500. If you would have asked this maybe like a month ago, I think it would have been probably closer to that $450, but a lot more people are saying $500 now, and it's kind of looking like, I'm not saying it's going to happen, but it's more in the realms of an actual possibility now. And $350 is really seeming like that doesn't have a chance in hell anymore. So we'll see. $400, fingers crossed. I mean, come on, Nintendo, come on. And as always, let me know what you guys think about all this in the comments. And if you made it to this part of the video, hit a like and subscribe. That would truly mean the world to me. And also follow me on Twitter and Instagram so we can keep this community growing. And you guys know me, I'll see you very soon with a new video. Peace out.